In 1943, the Supreme Court made a shocking decision that changed history forever. But by then, the man who truly invented radio had been dead for months. His name erased from textbooks, his genius stolen by a rival. This is the story they don't want you to know. Before we begin, I want to ask you for a small favor. If you're curious about stories where science meets mystery and injustice, stay until the very end. Your time here helps this channel grow. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's uncover another truth that history tried to bury. December 12, 1901. A wealthy Italian inventor named Guglielmo Marconi stands on a frozen hill in Newfoundland, Canada. He's holding a kite attached to a wire antenna, wearing headphones, listening intently through the howling wind. Suddenly, he hears it. 3 faint clicks cutting through the static. The letter S in Morse code transmitted from Cornwall, England, over 2,000 miles away across the Atlantic Ocean. The world exploded with excitement. Newspapers around the globe called it a miracle of modern science. Marconi became an overnight celebrity, his name on every front page. In 1909, he won the Nobel Prize in Physics for inventing radio communication. He founded the Marconi Wireless Telegraph Company, became a multimillionaire, and was knighted by the King of Italy. His name was written into every textbook, every encyclopedia, every history class as the father of radio. But here's what they don't tell you. Marconi's famous invention used 17 different patents, and not a single one of them belonged to him. In fact, when Marconi first applied for a radio patent in the United States in the U.S. Patent Office rejected his application outright. The reason? Someone else had already invented radio technology 3 years earlier. That someone was a Serbian-American inventor working in a laboratory in New York City, a brilliant mind who would eventually die broke, alone, and completely forgotten by the world. His name was Nikola Tesla. But how did a genius who invented alternating current, the Tesla coil, and demonstrated wireless energy transmission lose all credit for inventing radio? How did his name get erased while Marconi's became legendary? The answer involves money, power, and a conspiracy that reached the highest levels of American business. Let's go back to 1893. 8 years before Marconi's famous demonstration, while Marconi was still a teenager experimenting in his parents' attic in Italy, Nikola Tesla was already giving public demonstrations of wireless communication at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. Tesla didn't just transmit simple signals, he was transmitting energy wirelessly through the air. He lit up vacuum tubes from across the room without any physical connection. He described radio broadcasting in technical detail. He even envisioned wireless telephones and what we now call Wi-Fi. In 1897, Tesla officially filed for patents covering the fundamental principles of radio technology. Tesla was the first, officially, legally, and undeniably. The patents are in his name, granted by the U.S. government. So how did Marconi manage to steal all the glory? The answer comes down to one thing: money. Marconi had something Tesla never had: powerful, wealthy backers. Thomas Edison invested in Marconi's company. So did Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in America. And so did J.P. Morgan, the most powerful banker in the world. Tesla, meanwhile, had a falling out with J.P. Morgan. Tesla was trying to build his Wardenclyffe Tower, an ambitious project designed to transmit free wireless energy to the entire world. But Morgan didn't want free energy. He wanted profits. He pulled all his funding and left Tesla bankrupt. Then, in 1904, something very suspicious happened. The U.S. Patent Office suddenly reversed its previous decision and awarded Marconi a patent for radio, even though Tesla's patents had been granted years earlier and clearly came first. Why would they do this? Some historians believe it was because Marconi's company had extremely powerful investors with political connections. Others point out that Thomas Edison, who hated Tesla with a passion, was a business partner with Marconi. Tesla tried to fight back legally, but he simply didn't have the money to wage a legal war against millionaires and their corporate lawyers. Marconi became world famous. Tesla faded into obscurity, dismissed as an eccentric dreamer. For the next 40 years, every textbook, every encyclopedia, and every history class taught children that Guglielmo Marconi invented radio. Tesla's name was completely erased from the story. It was as if his work had never existed. But the story doesn't end there. In fact, the most shocking part was still to come. Fast forward to World War I. Marconi's company was making millions of dollars selling radio equipment to the United States military. Business was booming, but in 1915, the Marconi company made a bold and arrogant move. They sued the U.S. government for patent infringement, demanding even more money. The government's defense was simple and devastating. Marconi didn't invent radio. Nikola Tesla did. The case dragged through the courts for years. Government lawyers dug up all of Tesla's original patents from the 1890s. They found records of his public demonstrations. They presented his detailed technical papers that described radio technology years before Marconi's first experiments. The evidence was overwhelming and undeniable. But there was one tragic problem. Tesla would never live to see justice. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. He was 86 years old, penniless, and forgotten by the world he had helped create. He died owing the hotel money, his belongings seized as payment. Just 6 months after his death, on June 21, 1943, the United States Supreme Court issued a historic ruling that changed everything. In a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court invalidated Marconi's radio patent completely. The court officially recognized Nikola Tesla as the true and original inventor of radio technology. The ruling explicitly stated that Marconi's work was based entirely on Tesla's prior patents. Everything Marconi had claimed to invent, Tesla had already invented and patented years earlier. It was now official, legal, and final. Tesla was the inventor of radio. But here's the most disturbing part of this entire story. Almost nobody knows about this Supreme Court decision. The ruling was buried in legal archives and largely ignored by the press. Textbooks were never updated. History classes continued teaching the same old story. Marconi kept his Nobel Prize. His name remained in the history books as the inventor of radio, even today, right now. If you search online for who invented radio, the vast majority of sources still say Guglielmo Marconi. Tesla's name appears as a footnote, if it appears at all. Most people have never even heard this story. Why? Some researchers believe it's because Marconi's company still had too much influence and power, even after the court case. Others think it's because Tesla's ideas about free wireless energy threatened to many powerful financial interests. Dead men don't fight back, and erasing someone from history is easier when they're gone. Whatever the real reason, one thing is absolutely clear. History isn't always written by the people who tell the truth. History is written by the people with the most power and the most money. So the next time someone confidently tells you that Marconi invented radio, you'll know the real story. The true genius who actually invented it died broke and forgotten in a hotel room, while the man who stole his work became a legend and won a Nobel Prize. That's the world we live in. That's how history gets written. And that's exactly why curiosity matters, why questioning official stories matters, and why channels like this exist. If you made it this far, thank you for being part of this journey. Before you go, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps us grow and keep uncovering these hidden truths. This is Mr. Curiosity, where we dig deeper than the history books, where imagination meets reality, and where every story reveals just how mysterious and unfair our world can be. See you in the next one.